What's the deal, YouTube? We're back with the weekly Big Gamer Small Talk cast with a very special guest today. He's a new member of BGST. You guys have been guessing all week who was going to be. My man, my brother from another mother, K Mega 405.
Yeah, we got K Mega in the house. Yeah.
Welcome, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't bring you Gamer Nate. I don't know where the fuck Gamer Nate is at. Shout out to Gamer Nate, whatever the hell he's at.
He's driving the truck somewhere.
Yes, but it's back.
Hey, man. Yeah. No, I was just going to say, man, this is an honor to be here, man. I'm sorry that I disappointed some people by not being Red Dragon, but hey, I could be the Black Dragon. That's okay. I mean, whatever dragon you want to be. The
last dragon.
Yeah, the last dragon.
I like the caramel.
Yeah, but no, man, this is to be sitting at the table with the big boys, man, is just an honor, and this just another part of the family with, with Gamers United, with my people at Intro Media Gaming, and last but not least, Next Podcast, and now BGST. This is huge, man. So thank you guys so much for asking me to come be a part of the family, man.
No problem.
Jay Williams hooked him up with a nice new avatar and everything.
No more swap meet, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah. Shout out to the graphics guy, man. Thank you so much, man. This is just, it's like I said, this is great.
And you know what's funny, K-Mega, is that we were kind of looking for a new member, but not really. Like, we were just like, well, maybe one day it'll click. We'll just have a guest on, and then it'll be like, damn, that guy should be in BGST. And then just kind of happened last week. We were all just like, yeah, he's really good. He flowed well with us. He doesn't interrupt. He's intelligent. He knows what he's talking about. Would be a great addition to BGST. And then that's just basically how it came about. So, yeah, man, it's awesome to have you here as part of BGST.
I think what's important too, Crap, with K Mega, I've done a couple shows with him. I've been on Next with him. I've heard him a lot on Z's other podcasts. The thing that K Mega hit with me that resounded well was he's well spoken. He can definitely reach out and hit a part of the audience. Each of us has a different skill set, right? We all have a different skill set. K Mega hits a part of the audience that he gets us, and he's able to put that word forward. You know what I mean? And I think we all do that. I think Tim speaks to a certain group. I speak to a certain group. And K Mega, get ready. I got my Mooch Maniacs. You're about to get the Mega Maniacs. I don't know what's gonna happen with you, buddy, but they all come out of the woodworks for you, bro. So.
Yeah, man. I already been working on a name, so now I'm seeing it's the era of the K-pocalypse. So Ponies is on notice.
I love it.
Let's go.
I love it.
So tell the truth, ladies and gentlemen. They wanted some more soul on BGST, the Black Lives Matter movement. They wanted another brother on the show.
Yeah, that's what it was about.
Yeah, but like I said, it's great to have you on the board with us. Know what I mean? It is what it is. We appreciate it. And going forward, but in true fashion, BGST has some controversy as always. You joined the right show at the right amplitude.
Yeah, right.
And it's not me for a change.
Yeah, I know.
Realistically, look at me. I like to look at myself as like a caped hero here, okay? I came in at the end. The original conflict was between the producer of Titanfall 2 and Xbox Addict, and I went in and just kind of took it from where he started, and I went off with there. Look, there's a problem right now. There's a lot of problems. I mean, this show could probably be about 4 hours to dissect them all. But we got a problem, and no one seems to understand the issue. The issue at hand here is there's a marketing deal in place. I don't give a shit what your code name is. Code name blue. I don't give a shit what you call a disc that's not ready after it's gone gold. I don't give a shit. When you have a marketing deal worth millions of dollars with Xbox, you do not post a picture being like, I can't wait to play this beast, and you hold the PS4 edition up. And here's the thing, and I'm sure everyone's going to give me a good, a couple guys on the panel probably give me some good Mooch, relax. You got to look at it this way. You got to look at it that way. Tell me this. When did Bungie hold up the Xbox version of Destiny? When did DICE hold up the Xbox version of Battlefront when they had the marketing deal with Sony? When has COD, Call of Duty, any of the three developers been like, can't wait to get this beast started and hold the Xbox One version up since Sony got it? Never. So this is why I took a stand. This is why I do what I do, because this is the reason a lot of people tune into BGST, listen to Tim, listen to me, listen to K-Mega, Showstopper, Crap. The reason you listen to all of us
Thanks for including me, bro.
Well, I just had to go down the line. Sorry. I went reverse alphabetical order. My fault. So anyways, Like, literally, my point is the reason people tune into us is we take something that a lot of people scratch their heads and they're like, a lot of people wrote me in the past 24 hours, like, Mooch, I'm glad you said something. I'm looking at that like, why is there a PlayStation 4 disc being shown with the Titanfall 2 producer who has a mega $1 million marketing deal with Xbox? And I sat there and I said, I don't know why this guy's doing that. And it's funny, everyone likes to come after us and belittle me or somebody else. When I say this, stop belittling me on Twitter. Do me a favor, Drew McCoy or whatever your name is. Grab the Titanfall 2 producer, grab an intermediate moderator, and let's have a discussion on a podcast. It could be on your channel or anywhere else. Let's discuss and hear why it is that you had the PS4 disc out in front of everybody. Tell us and tell Microsoft. I'm sure the guy who wrote you the check from Microsoft can't wait to hear why you put the PS4 disc up. And I do have the answer. He said it was the first one off the presses. Well, let me tell you something, Drew. Your game doesn't come out for 3.5 weeks. You could have waited 2 days till the Xbox sticker came off the presses and cooled off. Because doing that is an abrupt, it's just a breach of contract somewhere. And if it isn't, I agree with Zaire because me and Zaire had a little behind-the-scenes talk. Shame on Microsoft and shame on their legal team for not having it in fine print that while we have a multi-million-dollar deal with you in negotiations, you're not allowed to take the competitor and walk around with it and boast their product. I thought that was just business 101, but apparently nobody caught that fucking class. They were too high smoking in class. They skipped that fucking issue. I don't understand. Is that hard for anybody to understand? I mean, now I'm going to let you guys talk. I mean, am I crazy?
No, Mooch, you're not crazy. I want to say this. With me, when it comes to this stuff here, I'm more or less in the background. I'm the last to fucking know. But there's something that I let you guys know forever. Microsoft, be the behemoth that you are.
Yes. Stop
playing footsies under the table. First, let's be clear to this. The Titanfall developers or producers, they had this, to me, they've had this disdain towards the Xbox fans and the platform since when I guess Titanfall got announced as it being a lifetime exclusive for the Xbox One. And I guess maybe, I don't know if EA didn't involve them in a negotiation. I don't know what the hell happened. But I remember right after this was said, at the EA had their meeting, their board meeting or whatever, that, what's his name? Was it Vincent Pella took to Twitter and was like, that he didn't know anything about it. It caught him off guard and yada, 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 yada. But anyway, so, he's a fan of the PlayStation's, the brand and all this stuff, the stuff that he said afterwards. So then it came out, I guess he would, I said, fine, it is what it is. He wants to make the Sony camp feel good and forget it. But then, coming, I guess around the launch of Titanfall 2 or whatever the case may be, and they would take a little shot to me on Twitter, you know what I mean? And they can't wait to work with Sony and all this stuff. Now, here's it is, and again, I kind of thought I knew. Maybe the Titanfall 2 wasn't going to be an Xbox exclusive or whatever the case may be. Microsoft didn't do the deal, but fine. And to me, maybe you guys may feel different, but I played the game, the demo or whatever, and to me, it doesn't feel like Titanfall anymore. Now, but I don't know if that has something to do with the servers, the cloud, because you remember they painted this picture the game couldn't be done because they went to Sony. That's what I don't understand. They said they went to Sony, said this is the game we want to make. Sony's told them, get the hell out of here, you're not going to see the specs of our console. With Microsoft here, we got this, and that's how their marriage was formed. This is what they told us, and we can see with this whole power of the cloud shit. Now the cloud is now needed. And to me, from playing Titanfall 1 to playing Titanfall 2, it seemed like they may have dumbed the game down. It's not just, it's not Titanfall. For those of you guys that may have never played Titanfall, you're not gonna know what the hell I'm talking about. It's not. I'm not just Xbox talking about a conspiracy theory. It's not the same Titanfall anymore. It's not. That's fact. But like I said, in the grand scheme of things, I just think Microsoft needs to fucking keep their money in their pocket with people that don't respect their fans. The Xbox fans are very loyal, and the brand of Microsoft. I got that right there was just downright disrespectful. And you can say what you want about a green disc, and the average consumer is not gonna know anything about no goddamn green beta disc and all this dumb shit he came up with afterwards. That was a slap in the face to Xbox fans, man. Like, you know, he can say what he wants, but it was to me all across the board.
If you look at some of the comments, like even that Crypt Concepts guy, who like I follow on Twitter and interact with him a lot, he goes, "Look, you could have just cropped out the PS4 thing. It's that easy." You know what I mean? And he showed him like it's that easy. It's not a difficult thing. He says green's, you know, blue's sexier or whatever. You know what I mean? We know for a fact that Microsoft has marketing rights. I don't know what the deal is with Microsoft getting these marketing rights for these games where the developers just, if you remember the Witcher 2,
Yes,
bro, or the Witcher
yeah.
3,
Yeah.
and the guy's just like, oh, well, the resolution's a big difference and blah, 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 and it's going to be better on PS4 and all this. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? Microsoft is paying money to have this game advertised for them, and you're sitting there shitting on the Xbox One.
When
You know,
would we ever see this on the reverse side? That's all I'm asking.
We
You
never
don't.
see
You
this.
don't. You don't. I mean, just think about the developer of Scalebound, how shitty he's been, but yet, you know, he's getting funded
Good point.
for Scalebound. So I mean, it. I don't know, because, you know, Sony is the darling right now. PlayStation 4 is just the darling and everything, and so they wanna boost it up. But this was absolute disrespect on all levels. Zappella shouldn't, or whoever put that down, and they had a cellar dweller that was posting this all over Twitter and everywhere else that,
Yes.
oh, well, you know, blue looks better than green. Well, Aaron Greenberg, thanks to you, that shut that shit down immediately and let them know that, no, we have the rights to this game. And I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Greenberg or somebody else, Killer Phil, anybody calls Zappella and let his ass, hashtag Killer Phil. That's just what up. So to call them and just basically say, look, you know, shut your ass up, or we're going to pull it. You know,
I think the damage is done.
The damage is already done. I mean, I was. Titanfall 2 was the most anticipated game for me, and now it's kind of like 4th, 5th in my list right now.
Yes.
You know, so it's crazy.
It was top 10 for. Oh, go ahead, Tim. I know you've been dying to jump in.
I want to get him.
I have one. No, my take is this: Microsoft might indeed be mad, or might indeed not be happy about it. But I'm going to be honest. I know Drew from when he was with Titanfall, and I just think that he just didn't know what he like. He did that, but I don't think that he. It's my opinion.
It's all right.
I don't think that he was doing it in like. Listen, if Druckmann did it, or if somebody else did it,
Just think about that, Tim. You may know the guy, but just think about what was said before then.
I just think I think that he did it. Listen, I think that he did it and it blew up.
But just think about that though. My man said, "I would rather have that for the Xbox," and his reply was, "Blue is sexier than green."
Yeah.
And he was speaking. And he was
that
speaking.
guy Eric got involved.
The Val. Yeah.
Yeah, the Val got involved, and it went back and forth. To be honest, listen, I saw the whole thing. I don't think that I personally don't think that he was trying to do it maliciously. I don't have a problem with Drew. Like I said, he also brought up. He's the guy that brought up how one content performer is not allowing cross-platform, and he was talking about Sony in a Reddit. So I don't think. Listen, I think that he should have thought maybe better of the whole thing, and I think maybe even like Aaron Greenberg and the marketing team probably looked at that and weren't saying, "Wow, that's great." They probably kind of scratched their head. So, you know, I understand what people are saying. I just think that I just can't see him doing that to be a dick. If it was Druckmann, if that was who it was, yeah, I would say
Just real quick, did you see that Druckmann's already playing Gears 4?
Yeah, but I think that was all done because of all this. Now, listen.
Yeah, it was.
Now,
he got sent it from
when
Gears
this
Vikings.
all came down, I do think that people going after Mooch like he's the Antichrist is a little bit much. I mean, Mooch does have a solid point. This is not something that you see in the.
It's not an isolated incident. It's been happening.
But I mean, the way they went after him, it was like crap 2.0 with the whole thing with Phil.
Yeah. The only difference is
like this gen gaming, the kid Justin Lewis, I think
he just got his driver's license yesterday.
Yeah, his Twitter name is PSN Mercenary, and he has a bunch of stupid shit on
His logo's Nathan Drake.
And he also said that Xbox did not have the marketing rights. So,
well, we know Aaron Greenberg
listen,
said
when you do
specifically-
something like that, okay, let's just take away all the fucking
Right,
drama,
take the bullshit out. Yeah.
When you do something like that, you have a guy in the Sony community who's a big Sony guy that actually thinks that Microsoft doesn't have marketing, and that's why Aaron came in, because that person was like, no way, because he probably thought in his head like, hey, I just saw this guy giving out, there's no way that there's a marketing deal because I just saw this, and it was a prime example. And Jace Centuries was all over it today, and that person really believed that Sony had the marketing deal. So that here lies where your point comes into play, where people actually do look at that and say, well, you know, this marketing deal, it can't be it's like Destiny. It's like the guy at Destiny showing Xbox and having the symbol. I understand where all the hoopla comes in, but like I said, there's two sides of the story. I just think that the guy, honestly, I don't think he's a dickhead. If I did, I'd be all over the guy. But that's I understand everyone's point, and I think Microsoft probably behind closed doors might say,
I said we can walk the plank. Fuck them.
Hey man, pick a side. Don't. Yeah.
But that's
no, Tim. I agree with you to a certain extent, but Mooch and Z is absolutely right, and Crap if he's on our side. If he's on with Tim's side, I can't agree with Crap because that's bullshit. That dude has been throwing shade at Microsoft ever since. Even when he tried to lie and say that we didn't get. Well, I didn't know that I got that money. Yeah, I'm talking about Zampella. I mean,
but he's a dick. Yeah, if it was Zampella, it's a different story. But the guy Drew, it's not Zampella. It's a different guy.
I think they all dicks, man. Let them, like you said, send them to Hades.
I'm not a fan of Zampella. Listen, if that was Zampella, I'd be all over it, but it's not.
I'm talking about Tim. You think about it.
Drew has always been a good guy with the Xbox community from Titanfall.
I'm just saying, look at it at the grand scheme of things. Look at the. I'm saying it again. Look at it the overall picture, okay? If you're just going by, and sometimes I know tweaks and texts can be taken out of context. It is what it is. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. But when the guy, now here's the thing. Now, to me, what makes it so deliberate, I'm very mellow when it comes to stuff like this. I don't be in the middle of it. But when the guy said, I would rather have that on the Xbox version, or the Xbox.
Well, let's look what he actually said. I don't remember. I still remember.
He said that green is the bluest sexier.
I gotta actually look this fucking shit up.
Well, before you look at Tim, why
I'm so turned off with Titanfall, as you guys know, with the gutted online. Now, I don't even really want. I saw all this shit. I was like, oh, this shit's like Destiny to me. I don't care about the game anymore, and that's on themselves because of them fucking over the cloud, which I'm not a fan of.
Before you go hunting, just check. I did a tweet to every.
Look up this fuck. What is this guy's name? Drew.
But listen, before you get into that, there's something much more important right now. Respawn just put out a tweet. Read what they just put out. They just copied Drew's picture, and October 28th can't get here soon enough. Titanfall 2, and it's the PS4.
Man,
I just tweeted it out.
Yeah, let me say.
Yeah, this is shade
Come on now, Tim.
levels.
I want Tim to look at this. That's legit. That's from Respawn.
Yeah,
I'm on that site now too.
You know what's funny? Just let me say this real quick, right?
They shouldn't do it twice. I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No. Yeah.
This is
all
what I'm
Xbox
saying.
fans boycott the game.
I feel like deliberate. Can nobody hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Crap.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because Jesus Christ, I've been trying to talk for 10 minutes.
Crap.
But anyway, so anyway, what I was saying is, like, it maybe wasn't a big deal. Like, maybe this guy wasn't trying to be a dick at first, right? He's just like, okay, here's the. But then when that end guy, who used to be a Microsoft employee, and
do the foul.
Yeah, the Val. His gamer tag is
console war rant. He's like, if anybody,
so he's like,
talks to you with console, you're banned.
He's like, preferably the Xbox version, and the guy's like, then I think the guy was starting to be a dick because he's like, well, blue's sexier than green, you know what I mean? And he just kind of starts being a dick to the Xbox fans or whatever. And then you look at it, and then you see how that gets turned. And I was talking to Mooch this morning on MNC, and I was like, this is what and then the media was quick to do an article on this and make us look like the bad guys.
That's not the media. That's a PlayStation fanboy. That's a PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Exactly.
Well, you look at how quick they turn on us, and then I was telling Mooch earlier today.
Those guys have blood on. They all those people are just looking to vilify Mooch.
Yeah,
I know that.
Just like me, like, oh, you canceled your
I know that's
pre-order.
part of the thing. I can't even. What is this guy's freaking?
His
KO5.
His name is here. I'll tell you what it is real quick. His name is Drew McCoy, DK05.
DK.
Drew McCoy.
And you can see like the guy's like green discs aren't sexy looking, aren't as sexy looking. Give me a break.
Maybe he's hoping that the game. Maybe he's hoping that PlayStation fans will go gravitate to the game because he said something about that. Because noticeably, I mean, a lot of these games don't really sell on their side, but it's a multi-plat, so it might sell through the roof. I have no idea, but it's still wrong. I mean, if it wasn't for Xbox giving these guys the opportunity, to let this game be presented to us and for us to enjoy it the way that we do.
Why wouldn't you want the Xbox community, the people that embraced it the first time, that gave you, when Vince and all these guys were tweeting out 10 million copies strong or 10 million whatever user base, whatever, however they worded it, that was us.
But don't you think though that Microsoft should be mad too? Then
absolutely,
they probably are. But look, what can Microsoft do at this point? Microsoft is to the point where.
At this point, K Mega even said it's number 5 on the list. Listen, at the end of the day, people, you do what you want. But like I said, I don't think that this guy was trying to be a dick, but I do see your point, and I do see the fucking, it all over. I mean, I don't know how Microsoft would feel about that.
They paid millions of dollars for this. It's a marketing.
I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have maybe they have a shit deal, but then Greenberg said that they did. I don't get. The whole thing is a little strange and.
Look, here's the thing.
I'm going to be honest. If I do feel something, I don't feel like this guy's a dickhead. But if,
I could care less about Drew, the producer. You know what I mean? Who cares about him? My point is.
But if this was Zampella, that's a different story. I just think this guy, and then I just think that he got all defensive, and then it becomes this console.
Hey, look, I got news for you.
Thing, and then everyone acts like so fucking sensitive. It's just like
did it get out of hand, Tim? Tim, World War II got out of hand. Listen, my whole thing, everything got out of hand. My point is this: what I'm doing is I'm calling bullshit. That's all I'm calling, flat out bullshit.
You're allowed. Listen,
right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
saying. You can't.
I woke up this morning with my Twitter feed going nuts, being like, Mooch, you made the big time, baby. I was like, all right, this is great. I'm like, thank God.
Okay, let me ask Tim a question. Okay, Tim, who's in charge of Respawn?
Zampella.
Okay, now.
I think he's the one that made the comment that he didn't have any idea about the going. I
find that shit hard to believe too.
Right,
which is kind of weird, yeah.
But check it out. So, okay, Zampella is the one that's in charge. Now, as a person that is directing a whole group of people, you would think that person would tell him to nip it in the bud. Look, we got to deal.
But Zampella is not really. Zampella could care less.
I know. So therefore, I say
I'm not a fan
of. Send ass to hell, man. That's garbage. Look, man. When I've seen the very first Titanfall commercial, and then I seen the Xbox advertisement, I was like, oh, okay. It started giving my morale back up for Titanfall 2. But then now looking at this, no, hell no, man. I'm not buying this game. I'll wait till it comes on EA Access if it does.
Listen, people are pissed. And listen, I get pissed off at things. It's just that I just have that in my feeling that this guy Drew wasn't being a dick, totally doing that. But I do understand everyone's point that this is like Respawn, tweeting it is kind of like it's unseen, within the industry. You don't see this ever, and it is strange. I'll give you that, and I can understand why but I think Microsoft should be pissed off more than anybody.
It's the constant jabs to me. It's like Zampella's been at it. Oh, I didn't know. We love Sony. And then at E3, even before there was neither company had contract with this, right? But they still are showing it off on PlayStation. When they were doing everything, it was like PlayStation. PlayStation's getting a PS4 Pro version. They love PlayStation. They can't
maybe that's why Aaron tweeted what he did today. I mean, you do have people thinking that the Xbox didn't even have a marketing deal. So I don't know if I don't know how marketing deal. I thought like some are ironclad. It seems like Destiny. Remember the perfume that
I talked
Xbox
about that
is doing
earlier. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like there is, you know, there is an argument here, 100%. Like what's going on, and Respawn obviously doesn't have a good relationship right now with Xbox fans, with taking it off EA Access, and then this. I mean, Zampella always seemed to be unhappy with the deal. So, in my opinion, spend your money the way you want. This is something that I wasn't. For me, the game is off my radar right now because I'm kind of just, not even from this. I'm kind of turned off from taking the cloud out and making all these claims that this game's only possible on Xbox One, which it probably is because of cloud compute, unless Sony would go on to Thunderhead. But at the end of the day, there's 7 games that are, coming out that are going to be on my mind.
Yeah,
so.
but it leaves a little sour taste in my mouth. No EA Access, which would have been a huge thing. We would have got the game early. It seems like they didn't want to let that happen.
It's all look. This is all fine and dandy, but this is why BGST is what it is. This is why we all who we are. And let me tell you something, Tim. The only difference between like my position and your position is that, like, you know what? I don't know any of these guys. And frankly,
I don't know that guy. I understand that, but
I don't want to know them because let me tell you something. There's something called integrity, Tim. I go to work every day and punch a clock like you do, okay? And if your boss has a deal set, okay, I know who you work for, and they have a deal set and something's coming out and they're like, hey, we can't tell the competitor. You have tons of followers on Twitter, okay? And the people know who you are. You don't go out there and do things like that. I don't go out there and do things like that. It's called integrity. And the problem with the gaming media and the gaming industry is there's no integrity. There's absolutely no loyalty.
That might be part of the problem why you think, but I don't know. Like I said, if I could definitively say in my mind, I feel like he was his integrity was, he was doing that, then I would fucking be all over. But I don't know that. Like I said, I from what I know, the guy was always a decent guy up to that point.
Well, so. Tim, let me ask you this and anybody else. Doesn't it seem weird that Microsoft gets these deals and the media batters them until they explain that they're timed exclusive or whatever, but nobody ever does that with Sony stuff? Like the Rise of the Tomb Raider.
You're talking to the guy that was talking about biased media and all that bullshit. We've all been doing that. Obviously. We know that, and that's the climate that we're in.
The media.
Do I think that this blew out of hand too? I don't think that people should. People are just lusting to hate on Mooch, which is
no, Tim. Honestly, this has been honestly. I wouldn't even keep saying that over and over again because, to be honest with you, I've gotten more love in the past 24 hours than hate.
But I've seen you get. I've seen people.
That's every day, Tim. That's just Tuesday.
Yeah, I understand, but
that's no big deal. My point.
You're entitled to have your opinion too.
Yeah, listen. My point is this: Jamie Moran just made a good point. The media is making a bigger deal out of this than when the PlayStation crew was making death threats to Hello Games. Okay, so death threats came to Hello Games developers.
And
nobody says anything about
that. The article, one person who's a PlayStation
it's really
Sony.
Because it's not that big.
There's only one article, and it's from a fanboy.
Well, it's not a big deal. But I'm saying we're making it a big deal because it's become something. But it really is no big shtick as far as like major gaming.
I don't
outlets.
think you're a person trying to being toxic. I just think that you honestly feel that way, and you do have a point. Your points are grounded, so I'm not saying you can't have that opinion. Yeah. If I just think somebody is not really doing something. If I feel that they're not, I really can't just say, well, okay, he's a fucking dick.
You see the best in people, though, Tim.
Yeah, but Tim, you are. You're looking at every rosy situation.
Not really. Yeah, I look at Zampella. If that was Zampella or if that was another guy, I'd be all over it. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, but